All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here, bringing your daily horoscope for Friday, the 4th of June, 2021. We've got the moon moving through the middle degrees of the sign of Aries. It's exciting energy, it's fired up energy, it's sparking the match, it's taking the initiative to conquer and handle anything that's coming our way. Handle anything coming our way and being able to conquer it with the sense of ferocity, with a sense of excitement and joy. This is really good. This is a shift that we've all been moving toward. And by the time we have this North Node eclipse and Mars moves into Leo, everything is going to start to shift in a really, really, really positive way. It's already been. And that's one of the things here. Let me show you the chart. With Mars, our planet of action, creating this sesqui-square to the South Node, it's like we don't see, and it's also creating a semi-square here to the North Node. It's because we've been in this emotional action lull, if you will. It's a difficult placement for Mars to be. It's only here once every 2 years. We don't necessarily see these steps moving forward. And with the South Node also creating that little semi-square over here to Pluto, it's like we don't see the transformation happening behind the scenes, beneath the surface kind of energy. So it's like all of this stuff is it's like it's sinking in. You know, we've planted the seed, we're watering the seed, we're giving it its daylight, we're respecting it, but we don't necessarily see everything coming into fruition. That's okay. One foot in front of another. As long as we're feeling this energy. And we have the South Node creating a trine to the moon today. Fire sign to fire sign. This is just a great time. It's just like, you know, I've got to do me. Aries is all about self. It's simplistic in its nature, not saying Aries, people who have an Aries sun, just saying the energy of Aries is it's action. It's let's go. Let's spark, you know, let's start the fire, so we must spark the match. So this is focused on self. This is focused on what I need to do in order to create that fire. Now, this job of Aries isn't here to sustain the fire. That's the Leo's job. It's simply to spark the match. So as long as we're taking the initiative and doing something, if we're taking the initiative, if we're catching ourselves falling back into old thinking, into old patterns, this is a great time, you know, just to carry on with ourselves, to acknowledge perhaps that we're slipping back into this and creating this little sextile over here to the North Node, which both are easy flow of energy. Okay, so this is revisiting the eclipse energy of saying I have to do what I need to create the release in my life. I have to do what I need to do in order to seek out the new knowledge and new information in my life. So then we have the moon conjunct Chiron a couple hours later. So that's at 11 in the morning Eastern Daylight Time. And then by 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we have the moon conjunct Chiron, which is like, there's some healing sets in. There's this kind of rejoice. There's this new enlightenment, this new sense of healing, this new sense of what does it feel like to not carry the weight anymore? What does it feel like to not carry that weight anymore? Like, wow, it feels good. Here's an interesting thing. You know, like some psychology stuff. If we are problem solvers, and this can be part of what we're releasing, if we're problem solvers, and we love solving problems, perhaps in our lives, perhaps in our friends' lives, or if we like overcoming something, fixing, learning herbal remedies to get over a cold or something. So if we're that problem solver, we're constantly going to be seeking problems so that we can solve them, because solving those problems makes us feel better. But then we run into problems, and the problems that we encounter we don't necessarily enjoy, whether it's personal physical health, whether it's you know, again with Jupiter and Neptune, there's still a lot of things with like escaping and evasion and addictions that are being brought up right now. So this is like, am I going back to this old pattern? Am I going back to this old habit because this is the way I used to do things? I'm seeking a remedy. I'm seeking something to overcome. So I manifest a problem. I manifest the problem so that I can solve it. But manifesting the problem, we're not satisfied because there's a new problem, but it's overcoming and conquering, solving the problem that brings us joy. So this brings us to this ping pong kind of effect. And this Aries moon is like, I'm done with this ping pong effect. I'm done going back and forth and back and forth. It's Ouroboros. It's the snake eating its own tail. There's really no escape. There's no spiraling out of this habit, of this, habitual mindset. So we're recognizing these aspects of self. A lot of energy on self right now. And this deals more with self and our knowledge and our understanding than it deals with other people. And especially this eclipse that's coming up here. This is about us and our knowledge and ourselves. So it's like, if we're constantly in that place of seeking, how do we now say, okay, and it's funny to ask a question, because asking a question isn't necessarily an answer, but it is. So it's saying, okay, now if it's like, all right, I'm a great problem solver, but I'm tired of creating problems in my own life for me to solve. I'm tired of creating my own puzzles for me to piece together and figure out and solve. I want to be done when close that chapter and start a new one. So it's just like, now it's taking the initiative to understand that healing of self, to release that mindset, to seek out this new. So whatever's going on within our lives, this is a great opportunity to kind of recognize our own habits, our own things that bring us back, and it's like, we don't like this aspect, but we like this aspect. So we keep manifesting the aspect we don't like so we can have a cause and effect and bring it into a place of salvation or some place that we do like. So what happens if we stop manifesting those problems? What happens if we stop manifesting, like the hypochondriac? I'm always worried about health. I'm always constantly, I've got the new thing, whatever that may be. So it's like, okay, well, what if it's just like, okay, I'm healthy, I'm successful, I'm loved. I don't have to worry about those things anymore. They're not a concern on my mind, because this eclipse season is all about our minds. I don't know, I'm pointing to my jaw. Our minds. This is all about our minds. I mean, communication too. So, anyway. So that's primarily our day. I'll come back to the chart and just show you what's going on. The moon's just moving through. We might not necessarily, like I said, see the outcome of the actions, but if we're recognizing the source of the problem, if we're recognizing the source and what we individually can do about that, that's when we kind of get this, the beauty of the day. And then we've got the moon sextile to Saturn. This is a great placement. It's understanding that we're the authority that can, solve our own issues. And that's the thing with Chiron too. It's like Chiron was the wounded healer in mythology. So Chiron set out on a journey to learn all of these healings, to heal himself. Never could heal himself, but ended up healing other people. But it's like Chiron took the initiative to learn all of these healings. Chiron took the initiative to be an example. And I'm going to come and I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to heal. I'm going to teach you how to maneuver through life. And understanding that we are our own personal authority, that we can heal, that we can learn, that we can seek out. Powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. And of course, Sun's still trine to Saturn. Mercury creating a square to Neptune. That's going to be happening today and on Saturday. This is big. This is big because maybe I said something here that, we talked about triggers a lot these past couple of days. And if perhaps you're an individual that's I don't know, perhaps triggered. Obviously, that's never my goal here while talking about the astrology. But if we are those individuals that manifest the problems to solve, but we're in an unhappy cycle, this is part of that square. My mind, how do I free my mind? So this is some energy that's happening today, tomorrow, freeing our minds so we can connect with our dreams, freeing the monkey mind, the chatter, the constant chatter, so we can connect with the higher source energy. And there's a bit of balance. It takes our active participation as well as our active surrendering. How can we surrender and be an active participant? Well, let's look at couples figure skating. There's each plays their role in surrendering to the other movie. It doesn't have to be couples figure skating, it could be dancing. It's like your active participation in the dance and being present and being here and observing the other's moves. And then once we're in that space, we kind of flow. We flow with one another. And there's not really one leading or following. It's just they coexist. So we're learning to coexist within the physical, within our minds, within the non-physical. And the moon continues to move through here. Oh, that's really our day. That's really our day. My friends, I love you. I appreciate you so much. It's always a pleasure to sit here and talk with you and chat, and it's been a pleasure meeting you and working with you over the past couple of years of doing this. I hope you have a really beautiful start to your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.